Hello everyone, welcome back. So in last video lecture we have seen about the imperfections in solids, that is defects. We generally define defects as the irregularities in the arrangement of the constituent particles. We have also seen that defects are of two types. One is point defect, the other is line defect. Line defect is not in your syllabus, so we are not going to discuss it in detail. The point defects is subdivided into three categories. The first category is stoichiometric, the other category is impurity defect, and the last category is non-stoichiometric defect. In last video lecture we have seen about the stoichiometric defects, that is also known as intrinsic defects and thermodynamic defects. It is subdivided into two categories, for non-ionic and for ionic. For non-ionic, there are two types of defects. One is vacancy defects and the other is interstitial defects. While for ionic, there are two types of defects. One is Frankel defect, which is also called dislocation defects, and the other is Schottky defects. Okay, we have also seen the comparison between the Frankel defect and Schottky defects. Now in this video lecture we are going to cover remaining two categories, that is impurity defect and non-stoichiometric defect. Now impurity defect is not divided or subdivided into any categories, but the non-stoichiometric defect is subdivided into three categories. So first we will concentrate on these impurity defects. Let us see. Now as you can see on your screen, impurity defects: if molten NaCl containing a little amount of SrCl2. Okay, now please concentrate on this figure. NaCl crystal is there, which is in the molten state. When you have taken the molten state, it contains Na plus as cation and Cl minus as in anion. So alternatively this anion and cation are arranged in the crystal. Okay, but if you add little amount of SrCl2, okay, now please note this Na is having monopositive charge. This is Na plus. What is monopositive? Only one positive charge is there, while you add Sr plus 2 as an impurity in the form of SrCl2. Okay, so Sr is having plus 2, so it's dipositive. Okay, so some sides of Na plus ions are occupied by Sr plus 2. So we can say that because it is Sr plus 2, it will be bigger in size. Okay, or you can correlate this, because this is plus 2, it requires two sides and it needs to have two vacant sides. So this side gets vacant and this side also gets vacant, while in this side cerium plus 2, Sr plus 2 gets arranged, gets accommodated, while this side where the vacancy is created remains empty. So here it is written each Sr plus 2 replaces two Na plus ions. So you can correlate this like this: it is monopositive and it is dipositive. Since it is dipositive, it is removing two Na. Okay, so just like to maintain the electrical neutrality in sense, so it will be easy for you to understand. So it occupies the one side Okay, it occupies the one side, this is what I was telling, and the other side remains vacant. So the cationic vacancies thus created by are in equal number to that of the Sr plus 2 ions. Okay, and why it is called the impurity defect? It is called impurity defect because in the NaCl crystal we have introduced the impurities, and because of the impurity the vacancy is created. The another example is CdCl2 in AgCl. Okay, this CdCl2 in AgCl, it is very same. Let us see. So now as you can see in this figure, it is AgCl crystal, while CdCl2 is introduced, AgCl as Ag plus and Cl minus, while this CdCl2 is having Cd plus 2 ions. So Cd plus 2 ions, very similar to this Sr plus 2, replaces 2 Ag plus. So one is replaced from here and the other is replaced from here. The one side is occupied with this Cd plus 2 ion, but the other side remains vacant, this one. Okay, so this is how the vacancy is generated because of the introduction of impurity, which is called the impurity defects. I hope the second category is clear. Now we shall move to the next category, that is non-stoichiometric defects. And non-stoichiometric defect is what? Stoichiometry is one which is maintaining the overall stoichiometry of the crystal, but when it comes to non-stoichiometry, the overall stoichiometry is not at all mentioned or maintained. So the defects here, it disturbs the stoichiometry of the system or the crystal. That is what I am going to explain. It is subdivided into three categories. Please note, there are two types of metal excess defect. One is a metal excess defect due to the presence of due to the anionic vacancies. The other is the metal excess defect due to the presence of extra cations, and last is a metal deficiency defect. So we'll see one by one. Okay, so now we will see the first category, that is metal excess defect. This is a metal excess defect due to the anionic vacancies. Now try to understand the alkali metals like Na and K, so in the form of their chlorides, because the chlorides are volatile chlorides. Okay, easily they get volatile, show this type of defect. So it is written, when crystal of NaCl are heated in an atmosphere of sodium vapor, okay, the sodium atoms are deposited on the surface of the crystal. That means, try to understand this. So what happens, actually you have a NaCl solid, that is a crystal, and you heat it in the vapor of Na gaseous. Okay, so what happens, NaCl solid has ionization over the surface of it, where Na gaseous gets ionized in Na plus gaseous, and one electron is lost. Okay, you know the definition of ionization. What is ionization? Ionization enthalpy is the energy required to remove 1 mole of electron. Okay, in the gaseous state, the minimum amount of energy required to remove 1 electron. Okay, so here actually when we heat these in the sodium vapor, what happens, these things happen, and Na plus in the gaseous form is formed. Now what happens, since you have the Cl minus ion, this diffuses to the surface of the crystal and combine with Na atoms to give NaCl. That means there are Cl minus which are present in the crystal, it diffuses from the crystal and goes to the surface and gives what? NaCl. Okay, that means Cl loses its original place from the crystal, goes to the surface. This is a surface. Okay, this is a surface, and reacts with Na plus to give you NaCl. And this happens by the loss of electron by sodium atoms to form Na plus ions. Okay, so one electron is lost, and the same side, the electron released by this atom diffuses into the crystal and occupy the anionic side. Now what happens if Cl goes to the surface? The electron which is just got freedom from the atom gets accommodated into the site where the Cl has left. Okay, so now you can imagine this orange color are Cl minus, and this is blue color is Na plus. Okay, it's a crystal, and you have NaCl crystal. Now you are hitting the surface, you have excess of Na plus, Na, because you are hitting in what? This sodium vapor. Okay, you are hitting in this sodium vapor, so what you get is Na plus electron, right? And now what happens? The Cl minus from the crystal goes to surface. So the same side which remained vacant, the electron comes to the crystal and occupies the side which is left by the Cl minus. So it is said that the metal excess defect. Why metal excess? Because there is an excess of Na plus, and this metal excess defect is created by whom? Due to the anionic vacancies, because the anion, the Cl minus, has created the vacancy, and as a result now the crystal has excess of sodium, and the anionic site which is occupied by the unpaired of electron, where this electron has gone and it has occupied the space which is vacant by the anion, is known as F center. Please note, you have to remember this F center, because it is in German language Farben-Center, that means a color center. So this Farben-Center or F center in short, they actually impart the color. They are the responsible for the color. They impart yellow color to the crystal of NaCl when it is heated into sodium vapor. So I have shown you one experiment in the lab. Okay, using that matchstick. Okay, wet this matchstick under the tap water and then place it into the table salt, and heat it on the burner. What you are going to get is golden yellow flame. The same thing. Okay, you can correlate here. The color results by the excitation of these electrons when they absorb the energy from visible light falling in on the crystal. So it is just like the transition from ground state to the upper excited state. And other examples are the excess of lithium makes LiCl crystal pink. Okay, so you need to remember, because they may ask you this in the MCQ. Excess of potassium makes KCl looks like violet. Okay, so what happens with lithium, sodium and potassium? We may list it out. So this you need to remember: pink, yellow and violet. Lithium, sodium and potassium. So that is all for metal excess defect. Now let us see another two categories which are left. The second category is again a metal excess defect, but this is a metal excess defect due to the presence of extra cations. Okay, The last one was due to that an anionic vacancies. Now this is because of the extra cations presence in the interstitial sites. You have seen one thing in Frankel defect and Schottky defect. You have learned those cations which are in smaller in size, like zinc and silver. What happens with them? They lose their original place and goes into the interstitial sites. So here the example is zinc oxide. Zinc oxide is what? ZnO. When you heat zinc oxide is actually a white color compound. Okay, we have it in our lab. So when you heat it, what you are giving? You are giving the thermal energy to the zinc. And what is produced? The zinc plus 2 ions, and it loses the oxygen and turns into the yellow. Now what happens? Because of the thermal energy, the atom or the ions which are in the crystal form, it gets the thermal energy, and the zinc plus 2 ion goes into the interstitial site of the crystal. So actually its formula is what? ZnO, where you can see zinc is 1 and oxygen is also 1. When you are talking about the mole ratio, the mole ratio is what? Zinc is to oxygen 1 is to 1. But because of this zinc plus 2 ion which occupies the interstitial site, some excess of zinc which is in the form of X occupies. We don't know, because X is an uncertain amount. Okay, it goes through the interstitial sites and the electron of the neighboring interstitial sites. So the formula becomes what? 1 plus X for zinc is to 1. Okay, so that's the reason it is said this the presence of extra cations in the interstitial site. And the last one is a metal deficiency defect. Metal deficiency defect is there are many types of solids which are difficult to prepare in the stoichiometric composition and contain less amount of the metal as compared to the stoichiometric proportion. For example, the FeO, typical example. Okay, FeO, what do you expect with FeO? FeO, if you take the mole ratio is what? Fe is 1 and oxygen is also 1. Okay, so let me write this Fe as 1 and oxygen is also 1. So the ratio we expect is 1 is to 1. Okay, but what we found actually this as Fe 0.950. Instead of 1, there is less amount of Fe plus 2 ions present. Okay, because this Fe2O, the ions are what? Fe plus 2. Sometimes it actually ranges from Fe 0.93O to 0.96O. So actually if you are taking FeO, it may have less amount of Fe plus 2 ion present in the crystal. Some Fe plus 2 ions are missing, and the loss of positive charge is made up by the presence of the required of Fe plus 2, Fe plus 3 ions. That means if you have less number of this Fe plus 2 ions, it is accommodated by accompanied by what? Fe plus 3 ions. Okay, so again these also disturb the stoichiometry of your crystal. So we have seen these 3 types of defects. Metal excess defect, which is again having excess of Na plus, so you wouldn't have 1 is to 1 ratio. Similarly here the zinc, you wouldn't have 1 is to 1 ratio because of the excess of cations present. And last, the metal deficiency, again you will have less number of Fe plus 2 ions present. So this is about the non-stoichiometric defects. I hope the defects are clear to you. We'll see this again, you can take a screenshot. I am pausing my screen for a second. Okay, so you will get the same in the notes also, so don't worry. For now you can take a screenshot if you want. And this is how we can learn this. Later you will be having examples related to this metal excess defect due to the excess of cation and the metal efficiency defect. So in upcoming lectures we are going to discuss 2-3 numericals which are related to these two categories of defects. This category they may ask you in 3 marker. So this is 3 marker question, metal excess defect, or even this together 2 they can ask, or like they may also ask you the comparison of Frankel and Schottky defects. Okay, so this is what you have already learned. Thank you. Thanks for watching the video. Stay tuned for more videos.